Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Recently, the Army Corps leadership recently said that your project, Mr. Paulson, would have taken 10 additional years to build if it had used the Army Corps' traditional approach rather than the P3 approach. So I want to dig a little bit deeper on this because this could impact what's going to happen in 2024. You also mentioned it came in under budget, and that's interesting in times of supply chain challenges that a lot of projects are seeing. If you could help me, I mean, I know you have the federal partner, you probably have state and local. Who are your other partners that are non-federal?
Well, thank you, Senator Capito. So our private developer through the P3 public-private partnership model is called Red River Valley Alliance. It is a joint venture of three world-class contractors that came together. We did select them through a competitive process, and they were the best suited to meet our needs. They also bring their own financing to the table. And that financing provides them the incentive to meet schedule because they have to pay back their lenders, and we do not pay them until they complete whole components of the project. So components could be a bridge, it could be a drain inlet, it could be something along those lines. So we get the benefit of getting that piece of infrastructure fully complete before we ever pay them a dime. That provides them incentive, of course, to stay on schedule because they need to meet those milestones in order to repay their lenders. That impetus and that incentive then also applies pressure on the Corps because this is a comprehensive project. We can't operate unless the Corps is completed with their components and the public-private partnership is completed with their components. So it's really a joint venture between this private developer. Our role is really to oversee the private developer to ensure quality and that they're doing everything appropriately, and then coordinating issues with the Corps. And that doesn't happen during traditional delivery projects. When you do a design, bid, build, there's a lot of inefficiencies, components are broken apart. There's a lack of innovation from the contractor, who is also the designer on our public-private partnership. So through those enhanced efficiencies and the pressures of the private financing, it's really helped to keep our project on schedule. And that's of utmost importance for us, of course, when we're under the threat of annual flooding. Any one given year could have dire consequences. And so schedule is of utmost importance for us.
Right.
And this model certainly has proven that it can deliver massive mega projects on schedule.
Right. So you mentioned on the to-do list of 2024 for the Corps, I don't know that it would need to be legislatively so much as a best practices kind of because trying to figure all of this out that's why I wanted to know who is this partner and how did you work that out? And so are there other P3 projects with the Corps active right now that you're aware of? I'm certainly they're calling you and trying to figure out how you did this.
Absolutely. It's my understanding that there are a few additional projects that have been authorized and could use P3. There are no other projects that are under construction, however. So we were the first project to go through project development, procurement with a private contractor.
How long did that take?
The procurement process lasted about 4 years. However, we were hampered by some permit issues along the way, and we did have to suspend the procurement for about a year.
That's federal permitting?
Some of it was Corps, some of it was state permitting.
Some of it was state, okay. Well, that's a repeating theme in this committee. Let me ask you this. Everybody, I wanted to ask everybody the same question with the remaining 40 seconds, so I'll just start with you, Mr. Pratt. Are there additional authorities that you think that the Corps would need to carry out projects such as what you have? I mean, it's a little bit of what the chairman just asked, but I guess I'm asking for more specifics here.
I don't know that it's the authorities per se, but it's to be more of the will of Congress for the Corps to look at ways to optimize the work that they do. I don't know if that is specifically within an authority or not, but it to me is I've referred to it just a moment ago as sort of the stovepiping or the missions of the Corps sometimes don't mix as well as they should. I think the ASA's office right now is trying to strive to correct that, but and the PRNG that's coming out will also look at the benefits, counting the benefits in a better way, that we might be able to count how the benefits from a navigation project can supplement a flood risk management or environmental enhancement project because of sediment supply.
Right. Well, I mean, the Corps is an Army, and stovepiping is sort of a problem over there at DOD in certain times in certain places. So I think that's excellent. One of the other issues that we've run in, again, onto the permitting, and certainly, Mr. Blanchard, you may know this. I know we have a project going on the Ohio River right now. It's not just the Corps. It's Fish and Wildlife. It's state DEPs. And the better coordination of those. We've tried to formulate through the highway program one federal decision where there is a lead agency. Obviously, in the Corps projects, the Corps is going to be the lead agency. But I mean, are you finding this an issue as well, the moving from agency to agency while the Corps is spearheading this, or is this not an issue?
Yes, ma'am. We find the same, that there are continued challenges when there's so many agencies involved in permitting process in general. And, you know, there's a good reason for a lot of that, but there certainly is an area of improvement where there could be more coordination so that you could move the timelines up, because as the timelines continue to get added, the projects only get more expensive. And certainly we've seen that here most recently in the environment that we're, you know, the economic environment that we've experienced lately.
I mean, but I would say just finally the takeaway from a big takeaway here is that the P3 projects come in on time or even earlier and under budget. And I think that's a welcome relief when you're trying to stretch federal dollars. So thank you all very much. Thank you.
Senator Capito is also a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, and they're doing some good work right now. So I'm going to yield to her for anything else she wants to say before she puts on her appropriations hat.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the witnesses, and I want to reemphasize, not just to those in the room today, that this is a process we're beginning very early, and so that we can be successful again. And as Senator Kramer said, it's something that I think we're all dedicated to completing this in the 2-year time period. So I would make sure that our fellow senators are listening to their core projects and to their WRDA projects and improvements that can be made so that we can incorporate these into what I think will be an aspirational good 2024. And the other thing is, I mean, we're really good here at patting ourselves on the back, but I will say with some of the improvements that we've made over the last 2 to 4 years, we're seeing things changing and projects getting done and getting to completion. And these are not inexpensive projects. As you know, they're very, very expensive, but they're life-changing. So thank you all very much.